To learn more about the situation in the UK, we have on air with us Anam Raza, a London-based journalist. Yes, Anam, could you give us some details of what's happening in London?
Well, today it hasn't been as bad as yesterday. There was a bit of minor disorder observed in Canning Town area, Crouch End, Muswell Hill and Highgate. As you probably know, the PM chaired the Cobra meeting and using his emergency powers, Parliament will resume tomorrow. It's being said that these scenes that were seen last night were probably the worst scenes since the Blitz. Many people today were sent home early from work just as a preventive measure. But one of the aspects of the big picture is that how does this portray UK in front of the rest of the world? And is London prepared to host the biggest sporting event in history next year? Today, 16,000 police have been on the street and will remain on the streets of UK throughout the night. Last night, the gangsters just ransacked shops and even private homes. So that's quite a scary thing, because if they're starting to attack private residential property, it's a very worrying thing. But water cannons, curfews, and the use of troops have not been ruled out if these riots continue through the fourth night. Boris Johnson, London Mayor, he's come back. The Prime Minister, Nick Clegg, everyone's come back, and Boris Johnson said, who's the Mayor of London, that this lawlessness has brought absolute shame to the capital. Baroness Sayed Dawarsi said that she's quite confident that the 16,000 troops will be sufficient to tackle these criminal mobs. But the one very interesting thing that has come about today is that the Independent Police Complaints Commission, the IPCC, has found that there was no evidence that the killed man, Mark Duggan, fired at the police. So that obviously raises a lot of questions about the Metropolitan Police. One thing that may be very interesting is that Asian communities, in particular the Bangladeshi and the Turkish community, have fought back very strongly and chased away the looters last night. The East London Mosque they tried to get into the East London Mosque in East London, but the community there actually gathered round and said, you need to get away from here. Also, the Sikh community has been seen protecting their Gurdwaras, and so similar have things seen in the Eltham community. Even the BNP chair, Nick Griffin, which is a very far-right party, has said that they're patrolling, their members are patrolling the streets of South East London. So, there's a lot of community spirit trying to come back in. And, as the violence has sort of spread up north to Manchester, in particular the city centre, people in London have actually sort of come out with their brooms and pans to clear up the streets, and hundreds of Londoners are now participating in the riot clean-up campaign.
It's essential for the people to come together to counter these riots and this act of terrorism, if that's what one needs to brand it at this point. Thank you for talking to us, Anam Raza, a UK-based journalist, giving us an insight into what's happening in London, saying that today has been a relatively better day, with 16,000 police troops put on the streets, and the investigation into Duggan's death has showed thus far that he did not fire the police.